Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with some more Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast coverage. Now that that mouthful has been said, it is time to go ahead and talk about what we've got here today. We've got ourselves a best of 3. It's going to be a Terran versus Protoss. First map is going to be Triton. And you may be like, GuMiho and who? Well, this is actually Patience here in the bottom right-hand side of the map. He is on, I guess, his team account, and I'm pretty darn sure that's Chinese. And up in the top left-hand side of the map, I already said his name, it's GuMiho. So we've got ourselves a Terran versus Protoss best of 3. It's going to go ahead and be from the Adrenaline Masters, pardon me. It's an open qualified tournament. I believe this was from the qualifiers, actually, and I think this is the only place that you guys really will be able to see the coverage of that. So, of course, if you do enjoy these kind of videos, make sure to press that like button. And then just moving forward into this game, I mean, this tournament, it's like a round robin, so I may be casting a little bit here and there of it, as unfortunately I wasn't able to cast it all live like I'd have liked to. And then, yeah, we'll just see how it's going to go from here. Extra barracks, or barracks on the way there for GuMiho, Reaper expand, and yeah, Nexus on the way after Gateway expand. Map Triton pretty good for Protoss in the sense that you can wall off to block that Reaper. We'll see what Patience is going to go for behind this in this best of 3, as he's a little bit cheeky of a Protoss, and by that I mean he is probably the most Hail Mary aggressive, I'm-in-your-face Protoss that there is. Patience, he has no shame in it. He's won a lot of money. He's reached the top of the top the way he plays, but sometimes it looks a little bit ridiculous when he's got like 40 blink stalkers and he's just doing his thing. But oh, speaking of ridiculous here, we've got GuMiho doing a very GuMiho-esque build, and is actually going to be opening up with a Ghost Academy. What is this? What in tarnation? We're going to be having ourselves a bit of a Ghost Rush from GuMiho. And I'm curious about this. It's got to be for cloaked ghosts, right? I mean, it's not a proxy or anything. That's the odd part. So what is GuMiho opening? Or is it like a cloaked nuke rush or something? I don't know. What upgrade is he going to get? He's going for a Marauder first. Okay, and then he's getting the cloak. But he's not making a ghost right out the gate. Is it going to be like cloaked ghost Marauder or something? Is he going to start concussive? I don't know. This is an odd build coming from GuMiho here. Reaper for GuMiho is just going to secure that watchtower. He sees the Adeptus crossing the map, so the Marauder is probably being made to deal with that Adept, and then all the while an Oracle on the way for Patience as he opens up with a Stargate. Now we see this Adept is going to shade towards that. If it got into the main base, Patience would be like, oh nice, a Ghost Academy, I'm going to counter that easily, but the whole goal of this build, it would seem, is for GuMiho to have the element of surprise, and that's indeed what he's going to be going for. One Ghost Academy with 2 more barracks to follow up. This is just so bizarre from GuMiho. Like, oh, the Ghost, it's gonna see the Adept, but I think the Adept saw the Ghost. So cat's out of the bag on that one, I think. Or was it actually seen? Okay, we're actually gonna rewind a little bit here. Did Patience see that? Okay, so we're gonna look at Patience's vision. The Adept is gonna be heading on over here in just a second. Okay, so the Adept shades. It's going. It's going to go up the ramp. Does it see the Ghost? Does it see the Ghost? It does see the Ghost. Patience saw the Ghost, I believe. And we'll see how he's going to react to it, but that's a little bit interesting. As it's like, okay, all of a sudden, GuMiho's moving across the map. He's got a Marauder, a Marine, and a Ghost charging across the map. There's an Oracle flying towards his main base. The Adept gets into the main. Oh no, this is bad for GuMiho. I think this is about to be a cool build turning sour. EMP the Oracle, EMP at GuMiho. He EMPs it so the Oracle no longer has energy. That's one way to go about it. But now, of course, Cat's definitely out of the bag on this one. The Oracle's there, but GuMiho can cloak. He cloaks it, so the Ghost is going to get into the natural of Patience. Oh my gosh, is this actually going to work? GuMiho just wandering a Ghost across the map is going to start killing probes here. Patience is getting out another Oracle, so it is going to have Revelation. Now, It's going to use the Revelation. Probes are going to try and surround this surround this Ghost. The Ghost can maybe snipe off 1 or 2 more probes before it dies. Probably want to try and make that happen. There we go. 2 probes die extra, so 6 in total. This is just such a bizarre opening. GuMiho is going to try and run away with this Ghost, but I don't think he's going to get too far because of the Adept Shade. And the Ghost does fall into pieces there, but this was such a bizarre opening from GuMiho. Let's count the cards here, or just assess where we're at right now. We've got GuMiho. Oh my gosh, and this game's just going to get more and more crazy. We've got GuMiho with 2 Ghosts to his name, making Marines. He's got, he must have stimmed. No, he hasn't even started Stim Pack. There we go, Stim now starts. Firing up an extra 2 barracks. This is so weird, because, like, he's not made a factory or anything. He's just going to be going for like a big old Ghost Marine Marauder timing, I think, right? That's definitely what he's got to be leading into. Patience flew on in with his Oracles. He sees this, but he probably doesn't expect what GuMiho is going for, which is just a ton of bio production here. Patience, though, in a very Patience fashion, is going to be moving on in with 4 Oracles. What he's going to get done with those, I am not sure. Oracle is going to move on in. It's going to tag those Marines. Now, there's 4 Oracles and a ton of Adepts here for Patience, or 4 Oracles and 4 Adepts. I wouldn't say a ton. So all of a sudden, these Marines could be in trouble. They're going to retreat, but the Ghost can EMP the Oracles and take out their damage, and all of a sudden, the Oracles are useless. Nothing is getting done there by nothing's getting done by those Oracles. They're just completely useless there. And all of a sudden, I think this is actually looking pretty decent for GuMiho, because he's making 7 Marines at a time. He's gonna have Stim in just a minute, and Patience really has nothing. I mean, he's getting up a Robotics Bay, which is gonna be very good versus mass Marines, but he's literally just getting it up. Like, he's not actually there. He's not making a Colossus. He is making 1 Immortal, and he's going to be up against a Protoss, or he's going to be up against a Terran who's got Stim, who's got +1, who's got just way more stuff, and even Ghosts in the mix. Ghosts are a late game unit for Terran, and all of a sudden GuMiho is going to be marching across the map. He's going to make a surprise, except not really. You knew this was coming, you're just going to die. I think Patience is totally dead here. Ghost gonna be moving on in here for Ghost, and a ton of Marines moving on in here for GuMiho. He's gonna Stim, pick off those cannons and pylons. Looks like Patience not gonna try and go for a Colossus. Is actually going for a Disruptor first, but he eats an EMP. Patience is like, it's just Marines. I should be able to deal with this, right? The answer is wrong, as GuMiho is gonna charge on in here with a ton of Marines. He's moving in with more. Patience lost all of his cannons and shield batteries. There's 1 Disruptor though on the high ground. There it goes. Does GuMiho split? He splits well enough, I think. There's not a lot left for Patience. He's now warping in a big round of Stalkers, though Patience, the Stalker guy, I said it at the start of this video, is actually going to have enough to hold on. That being said, though, there's Marines now stimming towards his natural, but wait, yes, I think Patience did effectively hold this attack. GuMiho kind of went balls to the wall and just gave it, but it did work out. Oracle's picking off those Marines. Now, I still think GuMiho's in an okay spot, but Patience being Patience, you always got to be careful. You can't count him out, because he'll just do the most insane things, and he might just counterattack with a ton of Stalkers right now, and that's actually what he's doing. He's just going across the map. He's going to have +1, he's going to have Blink, and there's a chance that GuMiho might not have enough biomass here in order to hold on. As a matter of fact, 1 of GuMiho's Marauders getting caught. Patience could Blink after that, yes, and he gets another Marauder. This could actually turn around completely on GuMiho, who's now going to be going for drops versus Patience when Patience is all inning. If Patience compromises the production here of GuMiho, that's just it. That's lights out. That's lights out for the Terran. SCVs in the 3rd base being ransacked. There's a drop in the main base, but it's literally just 1 medivac worth of units. Another is heading towards the 3rd. I think GuMiho's in a lot more immediate danger here, though. The Stalker is going to be working away on this command center. The drop in the main has been cleaned up. The 3rd is under fire, but that's a lot less important, I'd say, than what's happening to GuMiho right now. Patience is trying to make this scrappy. Now, if GuMiho can, or if Patience can save his 3rd, that's going to be very important, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Now, that's a bit painful there for the Protoss. If he could have got both, I mean, yeah, if he could have got both, it would have been much better for him, but that's not the case. All the while, GuMiho also dropping with this 1 Marauder into the main base of the Protoss. That's a little bit of a pain. SCV's attacking Patience's random gateway out on the map. That's a bit odd. The Stalkers, though, looks like... yeah, okay, no, the Patience, he's moving in with his Stalkers. He's trying to get the Liberator. A Disruptor goes out, gets a big connection, though. Okay. GuMiho seemed to get pretty dug on in here while this one Marauder is causing him a lot of grief. GuMiho seemed to get a little bit dug on in, but he steps out too far. The one Siege Tank is kind of a lifeline there for the Protoss. Or for the Terran, as otherwise all these Stalkers would probably be able to engage easier. Now, Patience could always potentially blink into the main base. There's a Disruptor in the Warp Prism. That one Marauder was cleaned up, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Patience is on 2 bases. GuMiho is on a better economy here. He's on a better tech in theory. Mass Blink Stalkers definitely folds to Bio with superior upgrades. These Stalkers are going to need to be microed by Patience. He's running away. It's all going to be on this Disruptor shot, I feel. The one Nova goes out. It's going to get an okay connection, picks off a few Marines, but Patience is just losing so many Stalkers, and GuMiho seems to be in an alright spot. Now, I thought this game would have been over a little bit sooner, but I mean, Patience is making this so scrappy. This is why you gotta love watching the guy. It's kind of just insane the way he plays it. All these Stalkers moving on in, the one Disruptor. It's the big boy. It's gonna have to get the big connection. There's that Disruptor. Is it gonna fire at a Nova? It gets picked up in the Prism, but the Prism is gonna go down the Disruptor. The Prism is now gone, and I think that's gonna put GuMiho up 1-0 in this series. Ladies and gentlemen, that was game number 1, and Psystorm GuMiho takes it. That was just ridiculous. Okay, I'm excited to cast more of this after that first game. Of course, if you enjoy this series, I'm gonna press that like button. And now we're gonna get into the next game here. I didn't expect that game to kick off so quick, and then I just ended up casting just an insane series, or an insane match number 1. That was just crazy. You gotta love crazy games like that. GuMiho, a fun Terran, Patience, a crazy Protoss player. We got it all here in this match, and we'll see how the next one's gonna go. I think Patience is gonna be just as aggressive. Whether GuMiho will be, I don't know. It was a little bit risky, though. I think for GuMiho to be out on the map while the Protoss player is Patience, like sending all your supply to go drop and everything while the Protoss has a ton of Blink Stalkers is risky. I think if Patience got on top of GuMiho's production, he could have maybe won that game instead of going for the 3rd, because there wasn't a ton of Terran or anything like that. And with the 2 Oracles to help out, maybe Patience could have taken it. Of course, well, every StarCraft 2 game with Patience and GuMiho like that was a snowflake. We're never going to get another one like that, so there's not a lot of good in theory crafting what you should do in that exact situation. So yeah, we'll just see how this next match is going to go. Watch as I say, it's like a snowflake. We'll never get another one. We get the same thing. That would be bananas. I don't think we will. And we're already seeing a little bit of variation here from Patience. He's going to be going for a Cyber Core before his Nexus. Just the safer option for the Protoss. Lets you get out an Adept or a Stalker quicker to deal with a Reaper. Personally, I am a big fan of the Cyber Core openings. I think it's the best thing to do on map depending. As I mean, I'm no super Protoss player, so it just helps you keep that Reaper away from your base. Now this Probe is gonna get away, I think. Yeah, he's safe. That one Marine for GuMiho. He doesn't go for the Reaper, he saves his gas on something else, and he's actually going to be going for Concussive Shell Marauder this game, so changing it up, going to be going for a bit of a different cheese, and we're seeing another Barracks go up already. So yeah, GuMiho really liking his aggressive play this series. And with 2 extra Barracks going up, this is very, very aggressive. We take a look. This is a 2-minute 30 double Barracks edition here. And GuMiho already getting his Concussive Shell on the way, making another Marauder. This is kind of scary. And look at this. Look at this. Patience is going to be going on the aggression. And I don't know how this works out. This has got to be like a classic 4-gate or something coming out of Patience, as he's throwing up 1 proxy gate, throwing up a few more. Yeah, this is going to be a classic like 4-gate attack coming from the Protoss. And then we take a look at this right now, and we've got GuMiho who's just going into mass bioproduction, which in theory is really good versus this kind of play. Now, if he's moving out on the map, though, things could quickly turn sour here for the Terran. Like, if he's out on the map with just 2 Marauders and like 5 Stalkers show up, that's a bad time for the Marauders. You don't want to be the Marauders in that situation. And we'll see. These two guys are going to move across the map. There's probes actually being pulled for Patience. Oh, this is so smart. He knows the two Marauders are coming across the map. He saw them. And look at this. This is actually so genius here from the Protoss. The Marauders might be able to catch and pick off one of the Stalkers or something. They will, indeed. But no, that's a good trade for Patience. And that's actually a lot of the muscle gone for GuMiho. Like, right now, he's literally just got 3 Marines. Patience is warping in offensive Stalkers here. Offensive Stalkers going to be moving on in. And all of a sudden, we're looking at 3 Marines versus 3 Stalkers. Patience, he's just going to have so much right now. And I don't know what GuMiho's going to be able to do about this. He's got Stim, but it's in a very vulnerable position. It's researching in a very vulnerable position. The command center on the high ground is going to have to lift off. A Marauder pops out. That's going to help a lot. But man, Patience is going to have a lot of units right now. And once these adepts start providing high ground vision, this is where it becomes a lot of bullying getting done here by the Protoss. There's absolutely no doubt that GuMiho can't lose his Stim right now. He probably wants to try and get up a factory if he can afford it, but he's so busy just trying to focus on the hold. Now, he does have a very impressive bioproduction right now, so there is a chance that he can just hold this attack off, and then it'll be fine, but I mean, this is a lot coming out of Patience right now. And then, of course, there's the DT follow-up, which is so smart from the Protoss. The Adepts get picked off, but yeah, look, or one of the Adepts gets picked off. But Stim is still a ways off. GuMiho right now is using all of his energy. He's trying to focus on just making sure that he doesn't die and that he doesn't fall too far behind to this kind of poke. So he's not thinking of saving his scans in order to deal with the DTs. He doesn't have an eBay up. He's gonna have 1 scan, and if he drops a mule, GuMiho drops a mule, which all Terrans like to do, he's gonna be in a very tough spot. And as a matter of fact, I think the game will just be over. There goes one of the DTs trying to run on in. GuMiho doesn't see it though. GuMiho's moving across the map right now. He's got a ton of bio, but DTs are getting on into his main base. He's got the 1 scan. A second DT goes into the main base. These SCVs are just gonna die in droves. Now, if GuMiho gets a good engagement, he'll be fine, but he needs to build an eBay somewhere because this is heading towards scrappy territory. But look at this. Patience, so smart, realizes that GuMiho is only going to have a number of scans. He's making a ton of DTs here. DTs at every possible chance he can. And the Terran army that was once really big is just going to fall. Look at this. Patience has built 7 shield batteries to hold on back at home. With DTs, he knows that he just needs to hold this attack. And with this, I think he's going to be just fine. GuMiho's going to have like 1 Stim in his army. There it is. But there's just too much right now. Patience just needs to warp in a DT here and there. It doesn't even matter. GG. The tricky Protoss takes map number 2. Well done by Patience, just in a very dirty Protoss fashion. And now we're going to be getting on into the next map. It is Winter's Gate between Patience and GuMiho. Speaking of Winter's Gate, I think I might be getting a little bit sick here. Hopefully not, but I may sound a little bit nasalier than usual anyway. So make sure. So don't worry about that too much, but here we go. GuMiho, he says right. Patience is so aggressive. He always goes for these early stalker pushes. So I'm going to push him earlier than that. Right now we see the Terran player going to be going for the classic double racks proxy. And this is such a classic. You're just like, oh man, what's the Terran doing? You're just, it's just such a classic. Now, we're going to see Patience, he's moving out with a probe. So, I mean, while he is a cheesy Protoss, he's not a greedy Protoss in the sense that he'll just play blind to cheeses and things. And so Patience is going to get a heads up that this rush is coming his way. He's probably just not going to build a Nexus. And he's actually going to have a very good time to heads up that this attack is coming in. He's going to come in and he's going to be like, all right, no command center, that's usual. But the second this probe hits the top of this ramp, he's going to be like, oh, what are you doing, GuMiho? And we already see a Cyber Core on the way for Patience. We'll probably see another pylon go up. I'm guessing on the high ground or something. Gas, probably another pylon, maybe another gateway. There we go, Zealots starting. Looks like we do have a pylon on the low grounds in a position which it can be potentially be a little bit vulnerable here. Now, GuMiho, interestingly enough, he runs on in with his SCV, but he didn't actually try and start a bunker. And maybe he could have done that. So we'll see. He's not going for a bunker on the high ground. These Marines are now out. There we go. A bunker is starting on the high ground. If he can get that up, that's going to look a lot better for the Terran player. But this Zealot is going to just try and pick off this SCV that's building the bunker. Good micro from GuMiho to keep that SCV alive. But if Patience buys himself enough time for this Adept to get out, he should just be able to shut this down. Now, the one bunker on the low ground could potentially get up here, but it really is the high ground one that's the big important one. The pylon has been messing with the Marine pathing a little bit. We take a look. Probes being pulled by Patience. Marines for GuMiho are running away. Looks like that isn't going to get on up, but another SCV is coming on in. And I think that that Adept isn't going to be able to stop this bunker getting up. And once the bunker gets up, that's where it becomes a little bit trickier for the Protoss. As there's now a bunker on his high ground that's putting out a lot of damage as it's got 3 Marines in it. Patience is about to lose a pylon. He could potentially become supply blocked right now. His shield batteries are going to be the next target, I think. No, the Marines in the bunker can't actually reach the shield batteries, so this is nice for Patience. The fact that he doesn't have to worry about getting shot there. Still, though, a bunker in your main base is never a pleasant thing. We see GuMiho behind this. He's transitioning. He's getting a factory. So he's doing the standard Terran transition right now. Patience is going to have to shut this down somehow. He's got the Stalkers and the shield batteries, which can essentially just stay in range indefinitely. He's going to try and focus down the SCV, but good micro from GuMiho, so this bunker can hang around a little bit longer. Patience getting up a Twilight Council, getting up another gateway behind this, and he's actually going for the proxy. This is why you love Patience right now. He's going to be going for a big old dirty counter proxy versus GuMiho. This has just been such a cheesy series between these players. All the while, keep in mind, GuMiho is just building more and more Marines here. The shield batteries don't actually have that much energy, so when GuMiho decides to dive on out here, this is going to be a little bit tougher here for the Protoss. Yeah, I think GuMiho is just going to be a minute or so, or even a second or so, away from diving on in. And there we go. He's going to move in. He's going to start focusing down the Stalkers. He gets one immediately. Patience with no shield battery energy. He's actually kind of doomed himself here. He's now facing off versus all of these Marines. He warps in 2 more Stalkers, which is going to help out, but he's lost 8 probes already. His Stalkers are under fire, and the bunker still hasn't been dislodged. So Patience taking big losses. While this is going on, though, major counterattack going on from the Protoss. I didn't even see this. I didn't think that this would be going on so soon. SCV's trying to catch these Stalkers in the main base of GuMiho. The Stalkers are getting attacked here. The SCVs don't have a ton of surface area. GuMiho actually cancels the supply depot so that he can get the SCVs on this while he's building a siege tank. I mean, Patience just needs to get enough counter damage done and he'll be fine. And with 2 Adepts, that's really going to help out. Although a siege tank did just pop out, one of the Adepts is surrounded. GuMiho just going to use this tank to try and clean this out. And if he can make that happen, he can potentially just win this game because this bunker still hasn't been cleaned out. GuMiho, though, really is still committed in a sense. He's losing some of those Marines, so he's going to have to start heading away. Patience, though, not going to be able to breach these supply depots, I don't think, when there's a siege tank there. The Rack's going to fly on home. Some of the Marines splitting on up. This is such a weird game between Patience and GuMiho. What a scrappy Terran versus Protoss series we're seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 Marines for GuMiho, running these in seems a little bit odd, but I guess he was hoping to try and maybe sneak on in when nothing else is going on. We're seeing a Cloak Banshee on the way for GuMiho, while Patience is going to be going for his own Cloak Tech. And that's going to allow the Protoss player and the Terran to also really just potentially win the game outright. Neither of the players has real detection. GuMiho, though, I feel is more likely to get it. There's a chance he's going to fire up a Raven or something at some point. The fact that GuMiho flew both of his racks home also makes me a little bit sad here. I mean, he's 1 base, so you don't need that much production, and the vision of seeing whether the Protoss is expanding or not, I think, is really important. Banshee going to be moving across the map here for GuMiho. Going to be looking to try and get on in towards Patience's base. There's a shield battery, though, building up. Patience doesn't know about this, but he seems to have pretty good game sense that a Banshee could be coming his way. And he's going for his own counter DT right now. And GuMiho, does he have a scan? No, he doesn't. He's going to need to pull SCVs right away to repair that wall. SCV's got to get on that wall to prevent the DT getting on in. He's probably going to want to queue up a Raven ASAP. But all of a sudden, 2 DTs working on this supply depot is getting a little bit concerning. GuMiho needs to make sure he stays on top of repairing that. Another Banshee's popping on out. There's a Banshee now in the main base of the Protoss, but there's a big old robo facility here that is going to be able to just heal, that is going to get an observer out. The Banshee can't do anything versus all the probes here, as there's so many shield batteries in Patience's main from the first attack. 6 shield batteries. Good luck, Banshee. GuMiho has got up an eBay, so he's going to be able to start building this up, but he is losing resources due to this attack. The DT does decide to back up, though. And GuMiho does have to build a Raven. There's no way around it. In a low econ situation like this, you need the Raven. Now, the 2 Banshees for GuMiho are heading on home. They could potentially be useful later on. We've got such an odd situation. Both of these players have, like, just a solid... not solid, but they both have a 1-base economy. It's not like it's a bad 1-base economy, though. They're both just building off of 1 base. Neither of them has seen it fit to build an expansion yet. Patience is going to start to mine out soon, but then so is GuMiho. Mules help make that, or help that happen a little bit quicker. GuMiho may just decide to counterattack, though, or just go for a push. He's got the Raven, he's got a good chunk of siege tanks and Banshees, and that may be all that GuMiho needs to end this game. I mean, Patience, though, going into a Disruptor, and there's no stim on these units. Yeah, no stim. So we take a look at that, and all of a sudden, Disruptor could potentially get a big hit versus the Terran army. And particularly when we're on the map Winter's Gate, in which there's inhibitor zones. Makes it pretty hard to split versus a Disruptor when you're walking through a slow field like this. And oh, there we go. This is how we know it really is a good cheesy series. Proxy Nexus, a hidden base. For the Protoss player. Patience is like, if I survive this, I'm going to retire to the beach. GuMiho tries his best to dodge that Disruptor shot, but he does eat it. Both the Banshees have now gone down, so GuMiho's really just pushing on in. He's going to have to rely on this Raven. If this Raven goes down, he's going to have a bad time. Got to really keep that alive. The tanks, though, got a lot of muscle to push these Stalkers away. GuMiho is going to roll on up here. He's going to be like, huh, you have absolutely... You don't have another base yet. That's just crazy. You're a Protoss player. Usually you'd have invested in another base in a situation like this. The siege tanks, oh, good interference matrix disabling that Disruptor, saving a lot of the Marines there for GuMiho. However, some of them trickle forward, and all of a sudden GuMiho is really starting to thin on out right now. This attack that he's going for, while scary, yes, it's not getting a lot done. There's 4 siege tanks, so he's gonna be able to pick off the observer. Potentially, no, the shield batteries keep it alive. But I mean, Patience, he's got himself another base going up. As long as he doesn't die here, he can take a lot of damage. He's got another Disruptor on the way out. He's got a Prism and an Immortal out on the map, which is pretty darn scary for all these siege tanks. Patience is taking a bit of a beating right now. But this game is actually just so scrappy right now. Can Patience clean this up? It's going to be tough to see it happen. Prism going to be moving across the map. And there we go. Patience goes for a big old recall, all the while looking for a big Disruptor shot. Disruption Nova goes out, almost hits the siege tank, but great interference matrix by GuMiho. Of course, GuMiho's like, huh, your recall. I wonder where your army went. He doesn't know, though, and now Patience is going to be counterattacking, but Patience really, I mean, I said he could take a lot of damage, and as long as he survived, he'd be fine. He has lost literally everything. He needs to throw up, like, 10 gateways or something. Like, 4 or 5 gateways. And I don't know if he's going to have enough back at home to win this game. GuMiho has a tank, he's got a Banshee. The Observer is still alive. The Banshee actually gets picked off by the Stalkers, that's nice, but the Siege tank has just been doing too much work. And the main base of Patience has just been literally cleaned out by the Protoss player, or by the Terran. A scan goes down from GuMiho. He's like, huh, you're throwing up a couple of gateways now? All right, good luck. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Disruption Nova, though, always giving the Protoss player a chance. If you have disruptors, if you have a Prism, you're in a pretty good spot, but Patience no longer has that, and with that, that's GG. What a crazy series, ladies and gentlemen. That was my first, like, solo YouTube cast, I feel, for a while, because I've just been doing Alpha Star videos, which aren't usually the regular, and then Freak a World. So yeah, if you enjoyed this commentary, make sure to press that like button. I'll be doing more from the Adrenaline Masters, probably. So yeah, make sure to press that like button if you're going to enjoy it. Let's try and break 20 likes on this video. And of course, if you're new to the channel, press that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. This has been LaughNgamez.